Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Back for another week.
Yeah, we lost count of what week we're on because we missed 2 weeks.
Got a new desk that we're using thanks to Keith's son. We took it. It's a little smaller. It's better for us. Holds the mics. We can do stuff and people can hear us. So let's just put the intro.
And we're not so far away. It's
yeah.
like...
Let's get the intro going. Give us a sec.
How did you get the intro? Would you have to make it? Or?
Yeah, I made it. It took me a while because then I get stupid with it, and then it's like I'm piecing all these sounds together, putting some music. Because what I do is like I'll go to like depending like that kind of music. I was using like the weird, crazy like insane asylum shit. So I was taking that from there's like a website that you could take that shit from. Yeah. So I would take it from there, and then I took some sounds, put them together and shit, mixed them. And then it came out, as a thing, and it was fine. It was cool. I did that for everyone, even like Three Drunken Idiots. I did all that shit is easy. Like Three Drunken Idiots, I just used the bar scene from an Irish pub. That's all it was. And then I added like another thing into it and shit. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back once again, another week. It's the White Room Podcast.
And it's 2 people again.
Yes, sir. It's the 2 dynamic duo coming back, and this is, we got a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot of shit going on. As you know, it's Rob and Keith, and we're on YouTube and streaming too at the same time. Everything looks good.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. So, what's going on? Everything good? This is Good Friday. Today's Good Friday edition, if you want to call it that. Easter is Sunday.
Are you off on Sunday?
Nah. Dude, and that's another thing, too. Like, I was talking to Dina about it, too. It's like, I can't remember the last time that they gave us, like, a business like that gave us Easter off. Like, I remember back in Cablevision a long time ago, they used to give us Easter off because it was actually considered a holiday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people took off for Good Friday, too, because of, the week, Easter was on Sunday. But, I was like, I can't believe how many people actually still have to work on a Sunday, especially on Easter Day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's weird and stuff, how everybody's kind of moved away from religion. But you know what? Think about this, though, and this is what was funny. And I was thinking about this. I don't remember when Easter was actually on March 31st. It was like...
It comes early on leap years.
But think about this, though.
Remember, this year was leap.
Right, but check this out. So I looked it up. Last year, we had Easter was on April 9th. Okay? 2022, Easter was on April 17th. What the fuck? Even though it's a leap year of 1 day?
I don't know.
Dude, that's like... And I'm sitting there and I'm like...
If you look up leap years, I guarantee you most of these falls on March.
No,
every 4 years. So this year we had leap year, it'd be 2028.
Right, but then, every year is 365 days besides 1 day as a leap year, right? Which offsets everything, you think about it.
It's not, I don't think it's a real set holiday.
Right, and it's like, you think about it, it's like, all right, it always falls on Easter Sunday, which Easter Sunday is usually in April. Like, I didn't look it back, I didn't go back too many, months.
Well, yeah, because Good Friday usually don't fall in March.
No, exactly. Not at all. So Good Friday is usually in April. Yeah. So, here's the thing. You had St. Patty's Day and you had Easter all in the same month. Yeah. Which is, it's fucking weird. And then I was like, the minute, I was thinking about that today too, because I looked at the date and I was like, damn, March 31st, bro. I was like, I don't remember. What was it last year? So I looked it up and I was like, April 9th. Okay. 1 week, I get it. Maybe having been a leap year actually increased it by 1 week. But then when I looked at it from 2022, it was April 17th. I was like, yo, now we're talking, we're 2.5 weeks, like 2 weeks back. Like, how the fuck does that happen? So then, of course, I was like, you know what? I know who can answer this question for me. The conspiracy people. So I dove into that TikTok shit, and I was going through like Easter and stuff, and there was people that were like, guy was like, yo, he was like, this year got me all fucked up. He goes, we got St. Patty's Day and Easter.
Yeah, it was like back to St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, he was like
last week or the week before.
He's like, Good Friday's today. He goes, are we living in like, did something happen? Like there was a a split in the dimensions or some shit, and like we're in a different universe or different.
St. Patty's Day was last weekend, right?
Yeah.
It was I had off Monday.
Yeah, I had.
And then I worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on a ship. 3 days on the ship.
Yeah, this week I had to work all week, so it was the week before, and I had off Sunday.
Yeah.
So that, it was, really a week and a half. Well, now, but yeah, it would have been like a week ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like kind of fucked up when you think about it. Like, bro, what the fuck is going on that it does it now? Like later on tonight, after I came to the idea, I'm gonna be like researching everything and be like, there's probably some answer and just be like, yo, you're stupid.
It'd be like a stupid answer. It'd be like, this is why they do it.
Well, I was looking at that and I was like, bro, I told Dina that, and then everybody just looked at me like, do I have shit on my face or something? Or
it's weird. Easter never falls.
Yeah, because you know what? Honestly, they were all thinking the same thing too. They were probably like, oh shit, he's right.
Easter never falls on the same day.
Right.
It's so weird.
Well, some people in some calendars believe that Easter is actually the New Year. So, because technically in a lot of the old calendars and stuff that goes back into other religions and stuff like that, there was actually 13 months. But the problem is that number 13 became the unlucky number, and so they removed the 13 from, all whatever. That's like you won't even see a 13th floor in a building. You know what I'm saying? It goes from 12 to 14.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, and people they're like, oh, that's nuts. But like, nah, dude, it's just, you're on the 13th floor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you just don't. And that movie's good too. Ever see that movie? Oh, was it 13? 13?
Yeah.
That apartment? Yo, that shit with John Cusack, that shit was good. I love that movie. I love that crazy shit. Like, there was a new movie that just came out. I just realized it. And I've seen the couple of trailers for it. That Nun movie. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, bro. I've been seeing, like, every time we go to the movies and stuff, I see the coming trailers for it. So I was looking, yesterday. Well, I was looking yesterday because I wanted, like I told you, we wanted to go see the movies with the kids just to get out.
I think it's on Verizon already.
No, it's still in movies. It's called The Immaculate.
I think you can watch it now.
Oh, you probably paid $20 on Amazon or some shit. But I was looking, I was like, oh shit, this is the movie about the nuns. I was like, yo, I want to go see it. So I looked it up in Newport Mall and shit, and they got it in the small theater, and it's like already taken up. And I'm like, if it was just me and somebody else, yeah, but I can't. I got to take the other two with me. And I was like, and then I want to see Dune 2, and that just came out, and it's completely.
I don't know. I like the dine-in theater. It's expensive.
The dining's cool, but that's in Staten Island, like the close one for me. Like for us, like AMC would be Staten Island.
I go to one in Mellow Park.
And I don't want to go to Staten Island until Sunday.
Yeah, I don't want to pay that bridge.
Yeah, I don't want to pay the bridge, and nor do I want to see the fucking place until I have to go to work on Sunday. So.
And that's not even that far from your job. That freaking mall.
It's not. It's on Richmond. Yeah.
It's right there.
Richmond Avenue, right to the mall, right there. Brooke goes there all the time because she keeps getting flagged by the Easy Pass. And I told her, I said, listen, here's the problem. Like, you don't want to pay attention. That Easy Pass is fucking me right now. And I was like, do not let them get you because they will. I was like, and then they'll get you for more. They'll get you for double the amount, and they'll win that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't let them do that. I said, and here's your problem. You're on the account for the Easy Pass, but you're blowing through the fucking toll.
But the problem is, like, there's no toll. Like,
no, but I
understand it's Easy Pass, but where was their idea of not having somebody that, if God forbid somebody don't have Easy Pass?
Right. Well,
so you send them a ticket. The ticket's more than the goddamn toll.
Right. Now, I don't know, like, say if you don't have Easy Pass, right? I don't know. Like, say if you have no account with Easy Pass. Say if the car passes through and that license plate comes up with no Easy Pass.
It give you the same amount of ticket as the Easy Pass.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because that's stupid, because if you don't have it...
I take my Easy Pass out when I go to Staten Island.
Right, so because then you're...
Sorry, but I'm not using that to go to Staten Island.
So, I mean, so then basically you're still paying that, you don't have to pay the fine, you just have to pay the thing, and if you don't pay the price of the toll. But then that sucks because then the price of the toll is going to be $15, $16.
It's more now.
Yeah, it's 17 something, right?
I'm trying not to go to Staten Island.
Yeah, because I know I pay $7 each.
Because you work.
Yeah, because I work. So you figure 5 days, it's almost $40 just to get to Staten Island. Yeah, and it's like 5-10 minutes. I'm below over the bridge and I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm at work or whatever. But yeah, the cost of living and shit is just fucking ridiculous.
No, it's a bridge. Like, it's a bridge to go to Staten Island. Like, why do you have to pay to go to New York? Like, don't charge $18. I'm sorry. $17.
Well, I mean, that's like the major issue with all that shit. It's like, why pay all that money? Like, to cross over the fucking water. Like,
I can take a boat. I can take a boat.
Yeah.
And dock it at a marina over there and just walk to the places I have to go.
Right. I mean, or you know what? Like, these electric scooters are getting so fucking good. I'll buy myself a really good electric scooter and just fly over the fucking e-bike. That's it. Fly over the fucking bridge.
25 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You can take it on the street as long as you have a helmet and you don't even, I don't know about New York. You might need to register in New York.
Fuck, they drive ATVs in New York all over the goddamn place. I don't even know if that's fucking legal, bro. But I mean, bro, you're driving on a road in an ATV and
I know.
An enduro bike comes right behind you, and they're driving on the same street. And when the cops, like, there's plenty of times like they go out and they raid and they stop all those bikes and they take them because obviously they're not registered or anything like that in the city, but.
Because you're not that far into Staten Island. Like, you're not, like... I mean, you're...
No, I'm not far at all. I'm right off the forest.
Yeah, you're not far going towards, like, the... bridge. You're actually close.
I'm by your port. I'm by the Staten Island port. So
it's only, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, worst case scenario, they even have a bus that you could take to go over there, and it's, like, $3. But it's, like... The toll for... Because I met one of the guys at work that I saw one time jumping on the bus I was like, "We going on a bus?" He was like, "Going home." I was like, "Where you live?" He goes, "Bayonne." I said, "There's a bus that goes from here to Bayonne?" He goes, "Yeah, you gotta catch that shit at the right time." He was like,
"It's drive you off right here at the light rail station."
Yeah, he was like, "It's $3.50." He says, and then it drops you off right off of 8th Street. He was like, and then
the light rail station.
You take the light rail to wherever you live. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "No, fuck that shit, bro." And he was like, "No, fuck that shit. It was $3.50, bro."
It's $3.50. You don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't pay tolls.
But check it out though. So it's $3.50. I'm paying $7, right? So you're paying $3.50 to go there, $3.50 to come home. So that's
you're paying gas.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about it. You're the only thing about the toll.
Yeah.
Think about gas.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about the wear and tear on your car.
Yeah. Yeah. Wear and tear. That's the name of my car. Wear and tear.
Oh my God, that's such a good name.
I know. That is.
That's going on to Audi.
Yeah. That's going on to Audi. It's gonna be called Wear and Tear.
We're gonna make the vinyl sticker. Wear and tear, baby.
Poor fucking car.
Wear and tear Audi. That's such a good name.
Did you see what stupid fucking Jersey did with the they're taxing gas now 18% more, and now this is the best part. They want you to go electric, right? So what they said, they came up with this beautiful idea that since electric cars don't take gas, so they don't have to pay a gas tax, right? What they're going to do now is they're going to
charge you more for the hookup, probably.
Well, they said that now when you register every year, like say if you register your car, it's like $73, right? They're saying the minimum price to register an electric car now is $250. Plus, you have to pay, if you're buying a brand new EV, you're going to have to pay a tax up to $1,000 on the car. Bro, so it's basically what they're saying is like, you know what, we want you to have an EV. Oh, guess what though? But you're not paying gas. That's the whole idea of having an EV. So why don't you just get a
hybrid?
Yeah, a hybrid would have been easier. But, you think about it too, then here's the thing. The problem is they want you to spend a lot of money on gas like everybody does. Everybody uses gas cars. I don't care. There's only a handful of fucking EVs that, seriously. Yeah. And, here's the problem. Like, EVs in the wintertime are a fucking bitch because you're never going to get a full charge.
But they're ran off of generators. What is a generator ran off of?
Mm-hmm.
Fossil fuel.
Right.
Fuel. Mm-hmm. Meaning, still needs something to go through.
Bro, electric is, if you look at the electric is coming from, like the water and stuff from the whatever
there was
falls.
There was a guy I worked with, and it's mind-boggling that you say, like, he goes, why can't these ships, these big container ships, they're in the ocean, why can't they just use the water, make a water engine and just generate the water?
Yeah, there's
which is so crazy. Like, you think about it, it'd be like, wow.
There was a guy that made
such a good idea.
If you look up on YouTube, there's a guy that was sick and tired. It's called hydrogen something propellant car. It's water basically, right? and he made this car. Well, not the car. It was a Ford Bronco. It was an older Bronco or Explorer, whatever one it would look like. And he turned the entire back of the car into a water, like it ran off of water. And he had this whole thing, and he was running it, this and that. And like after the video was posted and everything else like that, the dude went missing. 3 weeks later, they didn't know where he was. So it's like he probably came to the idea, like he probably found a way to that you can do that and stuff, and can convert your car.
They do it with the there's guys out there that do it with the old oil, not oil from like the cooking oil.
Yep, cooking oil, right? You use that, it turns into like diesel, and then you can run it like diesel. Yep, I've seen that shit. And they would go like to old restaurants and shit and be like, yo, you want to get rid of your oil?
I'll put it in my car.
Right, because they got to pay to get rid of that oil. So if you can use it in your car, then
the big ass old oil truck, spray it down and wash it out.
Right.
You got gas for a year.
I mean, there's so many alternatives to stuff, but the
I
problem
always
is,
said, like, if you make a container ship, engines that ran off of water, don't even need that shit smelling bunker, which is called bunker because it smells like garbage.
Right.
It's just all oils, gas, and everything mixed.
Right.
And it smells horrible.
Right.
And he's like, this is what we should think of, Keith. I'm like...
But here's the problem, though. If it's not profitable for the big companies, because remember, the oil companies are... The gas and oil is a huge business in the United States. Yeah. If you take money away from them, you're going to end up dead. And that's the same shit that happened with, like, Tesla and everything else. Like, Nikola Tesla, he designed a way to get free energy. The minute they heard free energy, they said, fuck this guy. You're going to take money away from us now? You know what I'm saying? You're going to give people free energy? What, are you fucking crazy?
We were talking about gas taxes. I was just listening on a radio yesterday going to work. They're trying to put a beer tax in Canada.
A beer tax in Canada? Yo, are you kidding me? That's like the home of alcoholics.
They're raising the beer tax. It's a beer tax in Canada.
That's crazy.
Yep. I was like, there's a beer tax in Canada?
That's crazy.
What the hell's a beer tax?
We probably have a beer tax.
We have a tax,
but
on beers.
Right.
But
alcohol, beverages, yeah.
A tax.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the liquor store, they're gonna charge you extra for it. I'm like,
it's like back in the days of.
I don't know Canada. I don't know what they like. Do they have liquor stores? Do they like?
I would guess that they're all the same. Like, because there's always, there's always going to be bars, but there's always, I don't, like, personally, I don't think, Canada's any different from anywhere else. Like, you could just go anywhere and get beer. I mean, there's stores everywhere. There's McDonald's, there's Burger King.
Next time you go to an island,
Wawa.
when you go to an island,
yeah,
and you just go to a liquor store and see how much the beers are.
Where?
Any island, wherever you go when you go on vacation.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know what port you're stopping at, but go to the liquor store and see how much the beer is.
Well, I know
for a 12-pack.
Well, I know the hard liquor was fucking expensive as shit.
For a 12-pack.
Oh yeah.
Bro, it was like $30.
Yeah, I mean, because I was looking at the rum, and I would think that the rum from the Bahamas would be cheaper. The rum was fucking through the roof.
And it's disgusting. Black Seal rum?
No, it was just regular rum, but it was like...
The rum from Bermuda is Black Seal rum.
Yeah, the black tar ones. I see it.
Oh my god. And they love it over there. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, there was plenty of that shit in the Bahamas. Yeah. Like everywhere, like you would stop to, because you can get liquor anywhere in the Bahamas. You get it right from the corner.
Yeah.
Like guy selling it to you, but it was like, there was plenty of that Black Seal black tar shit.
What country is that considered? Britain?
No, that's still that's all American thing, right?
They don't fly American flags.
No.
Bahamas. Bahamian.
Oh.
It's I forgot what. They don't. Look at the cruise ship. They don't fly American flag either.
Who knows?
Look at the container ships.
Right. Well, that's international waters too, like.
So it's cruise ships.
Mm. I guess the origin, right? They fly the origin flags.
Yeah.
So if it's actually from across overseas, then they're gonna fly the origin flag. Like
think about it. These cruise ships, they can leave any time.
Right.
They can go to a different country any time.
Right. Well, that's it. This is just ports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The company they're all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Royal Caribbean though is like, I mean, you only see the Royal Caribbean here on this coast. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They have them on West Coast. They have them other places. They're there's bigger ships are over here.
Right.
The bigger ships are over this way.
Yeah, because
like the newer ships come here.
Right. Because when we were looking at the cruises and shit, when we were doing the Icon, because we just did the Oasis, and we were looking at the Icon cruises. Well, not Icon cruises. We were looking at the cruises, and I wanted to go north. Nobody wanted to go north, so I was like, why don't we go north? Just see how that shit is. But I mean, everybody's like, if we were gonna go north, we should have done it in like winter time.
No, you do it in the summertime.
I was like,
you don't go north in the winter.
I was like, why would you go north in the winter when it's even colder?
Yeah.
I was like, you want ice on the fucking boat? Like,
I'd rather go to California and do the Alaska cruise.
Right.
Alaska cruise. My aunt Kathy and I do it all. They love it.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that
They
too.
said they'll never go to an island again.
Really?
Cruise. Yeah.
Oh, I would like to go see Alaska too. Like, I would like to go. I mean, like after this cruise, after we're done paying for this cruise, and when we go and stuff, hopefully it's a really good cruise and stuff. We weren't able to get any excursions; they were all fucking sold out.
Well, it's because
but
first serve.
But we put this we did this a year ago. So right after we got off the Oasis, Royal Caribbean was talking about the Icon because there was a ship that they were just coming out. They were test driving it or whatever. And we were like, well, let's look it up, this and that. And when we were looking it up, we were like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. That was originally when they were like, oh, it's going to come out of Bayonne Harbor, too. It's going to come to the harbor. And
they're still saying it's coming up here. I just don't know how. Because I thought it was bigger.
It's way bigger.
It's bigger.
It's a lot bigger.
The stacks are bigger.
It's higher.
Yeah.
And it's got an additional 2 floors on it.
Yeah. So.
And it's wider. So, I mean,
it could fit the width. The width could fit through the Verrazano.
Yeah.
Verrazano is humongous. But
right.
The height. I don't think the height.
So I mean, I don't know, which way or what, but what they were saying is that at first they said it was coming through that waterway, and we were like, all right, cool, then we could just start paying for it now and just book it because we already booked the last one real quick. So when we went to book the second one, they were like, oh yeah, no, all right, cool, yeah, we got you, this and that, and they were giving us these plans and shit. We're like, all right, and then they were like, wait until like a month or two when all the full excursions come out. And, because right now the boat's up in the air because it's being, beta driven or whatever and stuff like that. So we're like, all right, cool. And then we waited. And then when we went in for to talk, because we're not using the Traveler's Place, because, dude, they were expensive. They were expensive. Yo, the
travel agents.
The Oasis was nice. The trip was great. And we did it all through the travel agency up here. Right up the block.
It's right here.
Yeah, so we went up there. They took care of everything. We got all the excursions, but we paid like out of the entire trip. Not just me, but I'm saying what everybody else. Everybody paid an additional $5,000.
Yeah.
And that just goes to the travel agency, which is okay. I get it. Business is business. You got to do this stuff. But we did it by ourselves through Royal Caribbean, not through them. And they were like, all right, this and that, just wait like 2 months before all the full excursions come out for that area, this and that. So we waited the 2 months. We went back on the 3rd month to purchase all the excursions. Because, of course, you want the liquor package and shit. You don't want to have to look at anything of, you want to drink the whole time you're there. And I was like, we
should be able to get that though.
Yeah, no, we got all that shit. But the only problem is that we only got one excursion off the boat. Like, when it docks, we could get off on the dock. When it docks, we can get off and go to the city and shit and come back. But we didn't get any excursions and shit. Our excursions are probably going to be what's on the boat because it's got so much shit to do this time. So we were like, all right, you know what, fuck it. It's new, and saying it.
Like a year, 2 years. Right?
Yeah. So everybody's like, the boat is booked already. It's like so booked up and stuff like that. So they were like, no, we don't have anything, this and that. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And then, we're paying for it and shit. We're actually paying cheaper because we're not paying it through the travel agency. So, but I was just like, all right, whatever. I mean, it sucks because then after we paid for it, they were like, the boat can't fit. It won't. It's too shallow. And we were like, what do you mean it's too shallow? And they were like, it won't come through. And they're saying that they.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a bunch of crap.
They said something about since
our port right here is deeper than Miami.
Right, but what they did was they said that for safe keeping or safe bet for this. Supposedly they're supposed to dredge that shit by the Verrazano again or something like that.
Or maybe it won't fit through there, but I know our container ships are.
Well, some of your container ships like that come through Bayonne Bridge, those shits almost like they're up there. They're like right up there, bro.
Bro, we get to see a new CMA ship. It's 11 height.
Yeah, it's high. Yeah.
Like
it's really high.
We can't get them in Bayonne because we don't have cranes high enough. We can't even get 8 high.
Right.
Like we have to wait for the tide to go down to do 8 high.
Right.
Our cranes, even our tallest cranes.
Yeah, to bring the fucking thing lower.
Our tallest cranes are barely skimming it.
Right.
So our new cranes are like retarded. I think they're like, I forgot what they said, like almost 295 feet up in the air.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
those shits are probably like so much money to, or even like trying to put them in there. You gotta drive those old ones off, pull those old, and then put the new ones. That must be such a lot of work. You know?
No, it's actually funny. Like people say that they come on ships. They come on called crane ships.
Yeah.
And the crane ships actually sink themselves.
Right.
And they actually, you see like the water's here and the cranes are sitting right here.
Right.
And they come under.
Oh.
Because they just open up the things and
ballast and
sink the ship.
Right.
So when they come in, then they take them off. They take them off with like
crane.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks would take them off.
Right.
And then they place them right on the tracks, and then they just build them up.
Oh, I get it.
So they come in like.
It's definitely got to be in pieces because you can't have it.
Yeah, the top. It's like the legs. The legs are there.
Yeah.
So the legs could fit.
Yeah.
But the crane part is on the bottom.
Right.
So when they raise it up, then it's crazy.
That's crazy. Like engineering and shit is nuts. Like the shit that we can create and stuff like that. Just like think about like engineering like in the past, like when we were talking about like pyramids and shit. Like how the fuck they build those things?
Rope.
Yeah, rope and like
manpower.
Yeah, and then they sit there and they're like some of the things are like the masons back there when they were making those rocks and shit. They're so accurate to like not even an inch. They're so fucking straight, bro. And it's like you could go like into some people's houses nowadays that are being built and they're fucking crooked as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I laughed because I watched this show, Building Off the Grind.
Yeah.
And this guy does a mud house. And that's what he designs.
Right.
But he makes his own bricks.
Yes. Out of mud shit. Yeah.
Out of mud.
Yeah.
Basically, it's better than concrete.
Right.
So they just place it in a mold.
Yeah.
And they heat it up. And it turns into solid, and they just...
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of different sands and shit that they use to make that. So it's like basically like concrete. Yeah. But it's like, I get it. I've seen that shit myself, too. So, let's see. We got a bunch of shit that we can talk about. I guess we can start off with, what happened last night with the... I mean, I don't know. Did you see that? I saw it, though. I watched that thing that they had the... it's funny, too, but I'll get into that. But, the cop got shot in New York City doing the drive up, the pull up, the stop, the vehicle stop. And so last night they had the Democrats. It was Obama, it was Clinton, and it was Biden, of course. They had that thing at the Madison Square Garden, to raise money for the presidency for the Democrats. Yeah. And then Trump came in, and Trump went over and stayed with them at the funeral. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and it was,
I just seen that today.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I mean, you can love or hate the guy, but, he made a call in, I don't know, they said that he donated money or something like that, and he had a call in and had the towers and tunnels thing pay for the guy, the family's house, so that the wife wouldn't have a mortgage anymore. Which is great, what I'm saying? That's such a good idea. But it's like, why you got 3 other presidents past presidents, 2 past presidents and 1 asshole, at the...
They were there just to make money.
They just there to make money. And then if you watched it, bro, they came out of the floor. Like, Madison Square Garden has that orchestra floor that comes up, that pops up so that, like if you're, a musician or whatever, you come up through the floor. And it sucks too because it's like
probably it was $25 a night or $25 a person. I heard about it. It was $25 a person. The guy goes, I listened to them to speak a minute each.
Yeah.
And I paid $25 for it.
Yeah, and I mean it's like you couldn't stop or you couldn't even listen. Police are I feel bad for a lot of police officers because they don't get paid for shit. And then, you know, you got your life is on the line all the time, especially when you're doing these vehicle stops. You know, you don't know what the person, like if you see somebody in front of you, you can watch their hands. You can see what they're doing. But you can't see what people are doing when they're sitting in the car and if the car's got tint. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's at nighttime or, you know, dusk. So it's not like, you know, it's not too bright outside. Tint looks black no matter what. And it works, you know, looks worse at nighttime. But, you know, it's just a point that, like, then the guy, you know, the cop's got to walk over and you know, he's got his hand on his gun, more than likely, because you don't know what's going on. And then when you get up to the car, you don't even know if the dude's got a gun sitting at the door. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, unfortunately, that's what happened to him. You know what I mean? And they shot him. You know, but what pisses me off, though, like, you know.
What reason?
Yeah, well, just to hate cops. Just to kill a cop, you know?
But then they're like, oh, all this about racist and that. A cop walks up to a car, he's doing his job.
Right.
So it gives you the right to kill him?
Right.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, that's the same thing, too. Like, you know, you go into the racist shit, right? So that crap that just happened with P. Diddy, right? Oh, now, bro, I get it. Listen, it's fucking terrible, bro. You know, listen, you got all this goddamn money. What the fuck do you need to be in a child trafficking fucking thing, right? And then, here's the problem. And I'm not
gonna, but Jay-Z and Beyonce, they said it's coming out.
Bro, and Jay-Z's worried because guess what? P. Diddy's got a fucking rat on his ass.
Not only that,
yeah.
I'm not going to mention the singer's name. He's already squawking about it.
Oh, 50 Cent?
No.
Who?
Usher.
Oh, Usher now too?
Usher.
Bro, the story's
He's like, you guys think about P. Diddy and Jay-Z? He goes, Beyonce.
Bro, that whole shit right there, here's the problem though, and I you know, now I see this more and more and more. And this is what the funny part about it is, like, us normal people and shit, we don't get involved in that crap. And we're not involved in that crap. But those people who are mega money motherfuckers.
Bro, that's all they do.
They're involved in so much
What was
garbage.
that singer's name? Foxy Brown? The one that...
Foxy Brown was...
She was young when she started.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of them. Foxy Brown was a long time.
No, not Foxy Brown. It wasn't Foxy Brown. The other one that, same with Biggie.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh,
she said Jay-Z paid her almost millions of dollars not to write on her.
Yeah, well.
So you're telling me that down the line, like, people are gonna say shit.
Right.
It's like what happens with the priest. People are gonna start saying shit.
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get exposed at one point. Yeah. It's going to happen. You can't be, like, even with the thing with the mob, you can't be 100%. You know, I was watching The Irishman last night, and it said the perfect line, Joe Pesci. He said, listen, if I ask you to do something, I want you to do it. I don't want somebody else to do it because I don't need 3 motherfuckers coming back to me. Perfect fucking line, bro. Because what he's saying is that if I tell you something to do, and if I'm telling you to kill somebody, right? You kill him. And if something happens, I know it's you that said that shit. Now, if you go and tell somebody else to do it, now I got 2 motherfuckers coming back to me. With a third, meaning somebody who's, you know, that perfect fucking thing, bro. And that makes...
I can't believe that movie was 3 hours long.
Bro, that was terrible. That was a good movie, but yo...
It was 3 hours long.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Yo, he was so... De Niro was so old in that fucking
I know, but it was such a good movie.
It was a good movie, man. But did you see he was walking on those big padded shoes because he wanted to be taller than everybody else on the thing? Bro, and that one point when he dragged the dude out of the store so that the dude touched his daughter or pushed her, and he was trying to kick her and punch him. Like, kick him and punch him. I was like, bro, that looks terrible. Bro, it looks like that dude is a good actor on the floor because he's actually making it look like you're hurting him. But yo, that wasn't even trying, dude. But you know what? I love Pesci. I love De Niro. I love
I want to say I love them. Because
no. Listen,
they're part of that.
They're part of that nasty shit. But let me tell you,
they'll be part of that scheme. I'm telling you.
When it comes to movies, though, I won't take away the fact of I love.
I just watched Bronx. I was watching Bronx Tale before I came.
Bronx Tale, bro. You can't take away Bronx Tale, Goodfellas, Casino, bro. You can't take the Godfather movies, bro.
Yeah, but they were like.
Yeah, but
they're old school.
They're old school, but all this shit has been going on for how many years? It just didn't happen now, you know. And there's probably stories about all that, but back then it didn't get out as much as it does now because of social media. Yeah. Social media is the key to, you know, all that shit being exposed. But, you know, like I said, like I was like, you know, I kind of don't like these guys because with their views, especially Dementino was like, well, if Trump comes back in, or we got to get the fucking rid of Trump. If we get rid of him, we want to go.
I would be like, here's a plane ticket.
Yeah, well, you know what? You should be able to live wherever you want to live, and here's the deal too. Like, you should be able to do whatever you want. Like, technically, personally, I don't care like who you want to vote for. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if I have to live here, meaning like this city, Bayonne, Jersey, whatever, I gotta live here. I have a choice. If I can't afford to live here, then I have a choice to get out of here. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know, there's only going to be so much more time. Like you can get strangled by bills and taxes and shit like that. That there's going to come a point where it just don't make sense. It doesn't make sense now, but it's going to come a point where it don't make sense. Like we were talking about this at work, and it was funny because they brought up a tally. If you live in New York City right now, we're talking about now. If you live in New York City and you have 2 kids, right? So we're talking about a family of 4. A wife, a husband, you know, kids. Or even now it's like a wife and a dog, you know, somebody. You know, I don't mean it like that. But what I'm saying is if you have 4 people,
a wife, a husband, and a cat and a dog.
Yeah, like, you know, identify as whatever, a UFO, a fucking stove, a toaster. Regardless, what if you have a mother, a father, and 2 kids, right? You have to, meaning the mother and the father have to make a minimum of $64 an hour. Right, so you have to bring in almost $135,000 a year, both of you. So that means to live in New York City, you have to have over $300,000 a year, just to live in middle class. That's not to live in high class. You know what I'm saying? Or to be able to touch that shit. Because I mean, Jersey is expensive, but New York is really fucking expensive. You know, just try to go buy some food. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, your pizza prices and shit over there. Everything is like more money. Like you come here and you're like, oh, okay, I can get a slice for this. You go over there and you're like $10 for a slice and a drink, and you're like, damn, this pizza better be real fucking good right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, most of New York pizza. I'm not saying I'd rather go to New York to eat pizza. I'm sorry.
Yo, did you see they had a poll and they said the best places to buy pizza, and New York and New Jersey weren't in the poll. They weren't in the poll. They weren't even considered in the fucking poll. Bro, I saw the poll. It was a Facebook poll. Check it out. I'm serious. And somebody posted it. Somebody posted it, we know, and posted it. And they said the best places to eat pizza. And I'm like, that dude from Barstool goes around everywhere in Jersey and Bayonne, Jersey and New York, and eats pizza. And it's like, they have the best pizza. Everybody, like, when we went to Arizona, they were like, oh, where are you from? Be like, Jersey. They're like, oh, you guys got some good pizza out there. Be like, yeah, obviously. Yes,
there's no better place than Jersey. I don't care what kind of folk. There's no better place than Jersey and New York.
No, bro. Like
Chicago? Yes.
Oh, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago was on that. Yeah,
Chicago's got deep dish.
Chicago's on that.
They're down with the deep dish.
Yeah.
They are good with the deep dish.
Well, Florida was on that. Like,
Florida ain't got good pizza.
You put Florida on that shit.
Florida ain't got good pizza.
What are you talking about that shit? Like,
they can't even make bagels down Florida.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, those bagels, like,
rubber.
Yeah. Maybe it's because of the weather and the humidity and shit.
I said to the lady, I said, you got a bagel? She's like, yeah, I got ones that are frozen. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, I'm good.
No, frozen. Like, those are the ones that you do in the morning when you got to run to work.
You must be up from north. I'm like, yep, I'm from Jersey.
Yeah. Like, I'm having a hard time not getting a tail of ham and egg.
My aunt sells tail of ham.
Oh, yeah?
My aunt Jackie gets it delivered from the company.
Bro, did you see that you could get tail? I was fooling around and I told Dean, I said, I was online because they do that Amazon Fresh, and they always order food from that shit. So I went on there and looked at it, and I was like, D, you can get a whole brick of tail of ham for $35.
Yeah, it's the whole roll.
Yeah, and she was like, what? And I was like, yo, you don't even have to go to the store no more and pay $10 a pound. I was like, yo, get the whole brick. I was like,
slice it.
And I'll get a slicer.
Yeah, well, you don't need a good one.
Yeah, and I was like,
one that's gonna slice it.
Bro, I could buy the tail of ham and the fucking slicer for $50. I was like, well, get the slicer here and I'll slice the shit out of it, and whenever you want tail of ham, just do it. And she was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, Amazon's kicking people's asses.
And tail of ham that comes in a box is only like 8 slices. It's like,
bro, and the fat fucking slices.
It's like, come on, man.
And it's like $7 in Seatown for that shit. And I was sitting there, I was like, because we had tail ham today, man, a whole bunch of tail ham. And like, yo, nobody ate the shit. And I was like, yo, that's fucked up. I bought a pound and a half that shit. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to eat it. And Dean was like, I just had a little bit. She was like, I didn't tell you to make the whole thing. I was like, well, what do I do? Make half, and then Noah comes down hungry, eats all of it, and then what? And then you're like, oh, you didn't make enough. You're fucked up. And be like, all right, I made the whole thing.
It tastes better off the grill.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, do it anything. Flat top that
top?
shit.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
And
you put everything on it.
Yeah. You can make the whole sandwich right there. Yeah. Nah, that's it.
I like Taylor ham once in a while.
Right.
I'm not big into Taylor ham. Like,
we have it once a week
on a burger.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
I'll put that shit on a burger.
Yeah.
With bacon. That's a fat man burger right there.
Yeah, we do it like once a week. We have Taylor ham, and it's usually. And today normally Dina would be at work and the kids would be at work because of they're on spring break. Mm-hmm. But we were like, oh, it's perfect time for eggs and Taylor ham, and I was gonna even make pancakes, and I was lucky I didn't do that shit because nobody really ate anything. And I took a little bowl of eggs myself, and I was just like, oh, let me eat it. And it was funny because there was there was leftover cheese and it was getting hard. So I was like, let me eat this cheese and let me heat it up and eat this cheese. Heating it up made it worse. It made those cheese feel like McDonald's cheese that's been sitting for 35 years on the burger. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mad hard. So I got done. I didn't even pay attention to it. I ran into the living room. I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat some, I'm in the mood for some eggs. And I looked at the cheese and I said, yo, why does this resemble McDonald's burger cheese from 35 years ago? Meaning like it was like petrified and shit. I was like, I think that was a bad idea. So I just ripped the cheese off, Came off like, I was like...
I would have just threw the whole sandwich out. I would have, bro.
No, I just took the eggs. Because, you know what? It didn't even melt.
It's so funny. Like, I go to places, I'm like, yeah, give me a bacon egg. Like, you want cheese? I'm like, you don't put cheese on a bacon egg. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cheese does not go on a bacon and egg.
Yeah.
Cheese should not be considered a sandwich, a bacon and egg.
Yeah, yeah.
Tail, ham, and cheese?
Yeah.
Fine.
Tail, ham, cheese, yeah, it's good.
Fine. Eggs and cheese? Fine.
Yeah.
But bacon and cheese?
Yeah.
Don't go. And people are probably like, oh, you're fucked up. You don't like bacon?
Bro, you eat it the way you want to eat it, bro.
I'm telling you right now, you put eggs and bacon with cheese, you goddamn don't know what you're eating. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I used to love those things, those sandwiches in the morning and shit. You know what it is, man? It's like, if I don't have the time and shit, I don't feel like making it.
You know what's really good, though? You want to go... You're gonna sound like... you're going to be like, what the fuck?
What?
Get a cream cheese bagel and put potato chips on it.
Oh, dude, I used to do that shit. Yeah, I used to do that for the crunch.
50 cents, baby.
Yeah,
50
bro,
cents.
not only that, man, you get some good, like, sour cream and chips.
Yeah, man.
Chips, put that shit on there. Yo, when I'm hungry and I'm starving, I come home, like, say if we're having cold cuts, because, she went and got
cold cuts. I potato chips.
Bro, there's going to be half a bag of potato chips on my
white bread, too?
Yeah. What? And, bro, if I slather that mayonnaise on and make it, bro,
it's gotta be white bread. It can't be a roll because it just tastes different on a roll. White bread,
so good.
Wonder white bread, oh.
Yeah, I do that shit all the time. Like, I'll do it all the time. Be like, damn, I'm hungry still. Like, I know, like, I just make the sandwich. I'm looking at the sandwich. I'm like, I know I'm gonna be hungry after this. So then I'm like, I'm gonna have some chips. So like, nope, chips going on the sandwich,
I put pickles and chips on it.
Pickles are good. Yeah, I'm down with the pickles too, Down with that.
My eats cream cheese bagels with bacon.
That's cool. That's not. What's wrong with that?
I've never had it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try it.
That's not a bad idea.
Because I definitely gotta taste it. And you'll have it like on a salted bagel or like an everything bagel.
Right. Looking for a fucking shit. You right there?
No, every time I try to stand up because the thing's so soft in the back, it goes like this.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's the shoe. What?
I only drank 4 beers.
Yeah. No, go ahead, take a break. Yeah. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. That's what I'm saying. Huh?
That's why I need a headphone.
Oh. Yeah, we gotta have a wireless mic so when you go to the bathroom, you can hear yourself pissing. Guys, it's a urine break. I'm not shutting nothing down since I don't want it to get fucked up. So, like all the shit that I have here, and I can't find a pen. And oh yeah. Image print. Yeah. I should sell pens or give pens away. I don't know.
I gotta watch myself because I'm gonna hit my head and I know
that one spot, if you hit right there, you're gonna see stars for the rest of your night.
I did that last week. I'm like, oh, why did I just walk into that stupid...
But you know what's fucked up though is like that shit with P Diddy, right? How but it was just funny. Like I'm not gonna keep beating it up and stuff like that because people, some people are stupid. But listen, I get it. Like that dude from Nickelodeon, that Dan Schreider guy, that dude that from that they have that TV. There's a Netflix show I think it is on him. It's called Quiet on the Set. I started watching that. The kids watched it upstairs, and they're like, "Yo, I can't believe that shit happened to like Drake and Josh, and all those other Pete's, Clyde and Clyde." And the problem is like, a lot of people are saying like, I've seen on social media like, oh, this is racist because the white dude's getting away with it, and they even make a movie about it, meaning like a TV show. Listen, I agree, bro, but at the same time, it's a crime is a crime, and maybe you should be looking into that shit too, because you know what? What are we worried about here, living in this country? Like, what are we worried about? Is it the fact that we're worried about that there's probably the majority of Hollywood is pedophiles? Or doing shit like, killing, what are they, sacrificing people? It goes back to like Bohemian Grove shit and, that shit. That Ryan Garcia, like, I was listening to him. That's a good thing too, Ryan Garcia, I don't know, do you know who he is? He's a fighter, right?
I've heard him, but
he's a fighter. He's trying to get himself, he's in the process. I just listened to him on this podcast. I forgot what it was called. I have another thing. I don't want to shut this off because I don't want to screw it up. But I've listened to this podcast, and this podcast is a new podcast, and they're pretty good because they're like they have like some celebrities that are part of the podcast, and they're able to get like this. They're on their 5th episode. They got Ryan Garcia on there already, and he's gonna have Conor McGregor too. So I mean that's some heavy shit to even listen to that guy. He's nuts. But Ryan Garcia, he's a fighter that they're saying that he's crazy. Like they're saying that he's like mentally nuts, right? So he was on the podcast, he was talking, and they were like, going this and that, and he was like, yeah, he says, they tell me I go crazy and I black out and I start talking some crazy shit. He goes, but the problem is that I've seen crazy shit. He says, I've seen them. He says, listen, he says, I've fought how many fights already and stuff like that, and he does music, he's like, he's involved with like everything, social media shit kind of deal too. And he was like, I'm involved in all this stuff. He says, I was actually told, like brought to, not the Bohemian Grove, I don't think he said it, but it was another one, or it was Bohemian Grove or something. He says, but I've seen what happened. He goes, I've seen them sacrifice kids and kids having to see them being sacrificed, like their friends being sacrificed for rituals. He says, I've seen, guys, I'm not going to name names right here on your podcast. He says, but I've seen guys having sex with little kids, having sex with boys, having this and that. He goes, it's a fucking field day. He goes, and then when I start talking about it, the minute I start talking about it, they want to remove my fight card and say that I'm not allowed to fight no more for mental problems and things like that. And he was like, they're just trying to erase me. He goes, but they're afraid. He says, because I'm not afraid to open my mouth and talk. He goes, and
was he a boxer? Because
he's a UFC guy. Like he's a
UFC won't ban him.
He's like Dana White.
Dana White won't ban him.
He's some kind of boxer. Like if you look up Ryan Garcia, whatever. But I was listening to him on the podcast because I got a glimpse.
Dana White's all about.
Yeah, Dana White is he's like a I compare him like to a Joe Rogan in a way. You know what I'm saying? I mean Joe is they're both from the same UFC fighting shit, but like if you listen to Joe Rogan and you listen to what's his name, Dan
White.
Yeah, and
the problem with him is he has a company. He has to keep it.
He has a company.
He has to keep it.
But see, Joe Rogan, in other words, he don't have a company. He has a podcast, and he's got 14 million viewers, right? And that's just on Spotify. So it's going to be hard shutting him down, especially when he's in Texas, a Republican state, and he's basically in a compound, so he lives on the same property where he does the podcast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody wants to go on his podcast, and I listen to him all the time, and I set my thing up so that whenever he has a new episode or some shit, I get to hear it. It allows me to know. Like one of the podcasts I just listened to was really fucking good, and from Joe Rogan, and it was 5.5 hours long. I was at work and I was sitting there, I was like, damn, bro, it's like 1 o'clock already. I was sitting there, I was like, and that podcast is still on.
That's all they do, though.
Bro, he just rambled. They ramble on, and it's funny. It's like say if I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you about something that bothers me, meaning like what's going on today, he'll have somebody else on tomorrow, and he'll bring up that same situation, and of course that person's going to have a different outlook on what the thing is.
Sure
and it's entertaining because it's like you get to hear. Me and you were talking about something, right? So you hear our views. So he gets to do it every single day or every other day, whatever way he does the Joe Rogan podcast. But, he has all these superstars and people who are in the know. Like, when you hear when somebody says, oh, Elon Musk is on the podcast today, you're like, what? You got Elon?
It was just on it.
I'm just saying though, it's like, now listen, like a person like him who's like really mysterious and shit like that, you're like, yo, I want to hear that podcast. Because I want to hear it's coming out of that dude's mouth, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's crazy, like.
Yeah, and that's like that Ryan Garcia shit. Is like he was rambling off. The day when I was putting the TV together the other day, that's what I was listening to, and I had it in my ear and I was listening to it, and I was like, and I started listening to it, and I was like, I don't know, it was like 4 o'clock or whatever. So I didn't stop listening to it till like 7:30 at night, and I was like, damn, this podcast went off for a while. But and he's like, listen, he's like, I'm just, him and Andrew Tate, he's another one that's really good to listen to. Like, I don't really like Andrew, like Tate really, like, I don't know, I'm not.
Is that the one I got in trouble?
Yeah, the one with his brother and they got locked up and stuff like that. And then they were saying he was doing same shit as Diddy. They were doing like selling kids and selling
false accusation.
Yeah, he was definitely proven not that was happening. But Andrew,
where he is, they'll kill him.
Yeah,
like, he's not America.
Yeah, he can't step foot.
No, but I'm saying where he was, they would have killed him.
Yeah, and that's what. Because they locked him in a dungeon. Yeah. Him and his brother, and then they separated him and his brother at first, and he didn't know what was going on with his brother at the time until they put the Tates back together in one cell, and then finally they were released and shit. But him too, like, and he got locked up for some stupid shit. It was like a charge from years ago. Yeah. From some woman saying something, and they locked him up on it, and he was like, God damn, that was from a long time ago. He goes, and that was even proven not. He was like, but if he ever, like, a person like him, like, if you step foot in the States and shit, people are probably gonna come and get you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can talk that shit out of the country and stuff like that. And expose the wealthy and all this other stuff.
But now people are doing it right here in America. They're exposing people.
Right, but it's like the other day when I was going to work, it was funny. It was Thursday. Jimmy from the lodge put on Facebook. He says, I just passed Costco, and the entire thing of Costco is filled up with FBI vans. And I was like, oh shit, I'm on my way out. I'm on my way out the door right now. Like, I was sitting in the car, warming the car up, and I was checking Facebook, and I saw his post. So normally I don't take that 440 route. I'll go like, Avenue B. Damn, you just lit that shit up.
Yeah, sir.
I usually take Avenue E or Avenue C. So I was like, let me swing around and go back roads. So I went over the back roads. I was like, what the fuck?
Because they had a big bust in the houses.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Bro, they had so many they had so many cars, so many vans. Fucking.
Well, imagine that. Now, listen. You buy a house.
Yeah.
You're paying $3,500 a month.
Yeah.
Guaranteed $3,500.
Right.
22 to 35. Say. You're going to an apartment. You're paying $3,500. The next person next to you is paying nothing.
Right, because you're getting it for free. Right. Yeah.
Or 100, say 200.
Yeah.
Most of the houses down there, drugs, prostitution.
Well, how are you like? Yeah. What kind of clientele? What kind of people do you think you're getting in there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not all Section 8's bad.
No, not at all. No.
Like people always say, "Oh, Section 8's."
No, it's not.
It's not all bad.
Nope.
But you're letting people in that you don't know.
Yeah.
And you're bringing them over from different cities.
Well, it's all for money.
New York, you're bringing them. 95% of the people down there have New York plates.
Bro, and all those big houses, those big buildings, and shit all have abatements too. Yeah. So they're not even paying taxes for 20, 30 years, bro. Like great idea, but you just, for 20, 30 years, like, you're sitting there being like, well, that property can be bought and sold how many times?
And people are like, oh, Bayonne's getting so bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
getting
Bayonne's
so bad is because people like our mayor sold us out.
Right.
And I'm never going to disagree. He's a sellout.
Well, all the couple of them are, all the way to Sisk.
Yeah.
Right? Was it Sisk or not Sisk? The other one, the one that shot himself. Remember?
Smith.
That's what I meant. So right from Smith, that's when all that shit was happening, bro. And you know, and it's funny too because they were talking about who was it? Dan Bongino. I was listening to Dan, and they were talking about how, you know, to get Trump in and this and that because, you know, everything is going bad. The Democrats right now are way out of control. Like, it's way out of control. And, you know, our economy, everything is going bad. Our protection, our safety, our health, everything, right? So he said, listen, he says, you know, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm asking you. If you're going to vote for Trump, good for you. He was like, I'm not telling you to vote for him, not telling you not to vote for him. He goes, but what I'm asking you to do is to, if you're going to vote for Trump, vote the other Republicans in too.
Yes.
Regardless of the fact that you don't know who they are, he says they might be asshats and they might be terrible. He goes, but here's the problem. If you don't vote, if you're going to vote for Trump, he goes, vote the rest of the Republicans in on the ballot. He says, what's going to happen is that Trump, say if Trump wins, he says, and Trump gets into office, if that House and Senate are Democrats, he goes, the next day that Trump gets in, the day he gets in, the next day he's going to be impeached again. He goes, they're going to try to get him the fuck out again. He goes, because they don't want him as president.
But here's the thing. So Biden's not able to stand trial.
Right.
But he's able to run a country?
I don't know. This is the biggest fucking bullshit that I've ever seen before in my life.
He's not able to stand trial, but he's able to run a country.
Bro, and he could barely walk.
He barely could talk.
Right. But
But
do you notice now, every time that Biden is out there, Obama's very close, and so is Clinton now? Come on, bro. And then all of a sudden, what's going on with Robert Kennedy, right? Now, Robert Kennedy comes up and says, I want to run. You know what I'm saying? And
as an independent.
No, but yeah, as an independent, right. But he wanted to run as a Democrat. So
his fall is turning to green.
No, they're all Democrats. But the problem is that the Democratic system, right, didn't want him to run. They didn't give him the chance to run. They said, no, fuck it, we're picking Biden. We're going with the House. You know, we're going with the House. We're not going with you. Even though you have a family that's been in politics for all your life, too. So, you know, you got the Kennedys, you got the Clintons, you got, you know, they've always been, in the thing. So then he turns around and says, well, you know what? I'm still fucking running. I can run as an independent. So, but now you don't have, being independent, you know, sucks.
Yeah, but you can take votes away from...
You can take votes away from the Republicans and the Democrats.
He'll take more votes away from the Democrats.
Of course he is. But the thing is now that you have... But, see, the thing is like the Republicans and Democrats, they have a support system. So, you know, of course you have people out there that run the things and be like, vote for him because it's Republican, Democrat, blah, blah, blah. The independents don't. So he's actually, like, you know, running up a hill for his...
Well, that's why Aaron Rodgers said...
I get it.
He will run
I get it.
as vice president.
He needs somebody like a big mouth like Rodgers to do something like that. You know, which, you know, I actually, you know, personally, I wanted to see him actually make the Jets a good team. Like, I wanted to see him actually perform. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
but listen, if you can make the country better, I'd rather see him make...
Oh, I do too, but you know what I'm saying? I feel bad for the Jets because you paid all this money for him to play three plays. And then he got hurt on his fourth play. Come on, dude. You didn't even make your first set of fucking downs.
He ran in, I think he was hurt.
Bro, he looked like he got hit by a bull. Bro, when that fucking line collapsed on him and he got smashed, bro, I was like, and I thought to myself, I was like, dude, he is not the one. Like, you're not going to make this team turn around with that fucking...
This quarterbacks are coming out. Like, this quarterbacks are coming out of this draft.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like, man, if they don't pick a quarterback,
right,
they're stupid.
Right. Well, they're so tied up with him, and it's like... listen, he's a good quarterback, man. If he actually put himself into, I can't wait for like the season to start because that's my two people that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at fucking the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not looking at nothing. I'm looking at fucking Daniel Jones and I'm watching Aaron Rodgers because you know what? It's our New York fucking teams, and the problem is that our New York teams.
New Jersey.
Huh?
Get it right.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, yeah, of course they're at Met, at Met, but Sea Caucus. But listen. But what I'm saying is,
I'm going to say something to you. You're gonna laugh.
What?
When you go to Newark Airport to travel, look what it says.
Newark Airport?
Yes.
What does it say?
On your ticket it says Newark, New York.
Oh, that's weird.
You're not
what, NWK? You talking about NWK thing? Yeah.
When you get your ticket to go on a flight, it says Newark, New York.
Maybe the both airports in Newark and in New York. That makes no sense.
No.
Yeah.
Newark Airport's in Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's not JFK. It's not whatever it's called, LaGuardia. It's Newark Airport. It's Jersey.
Right.
Like, there's no reason for it to say New York at all.
That's just one of those things, bro. That's just like a big thing this week was the one dude posted on TikTok, and he posted some shit, and he was like, "Oh, I got something for you guys to try." He goes, "Take SpongeBob's address, right? In the show." He was like, and put Virgin Islands at the end of it. So of course, everybody was like, "Oh, this and that." Bikini Bottom is where he lives in the show was supposed to be 124 Conch Street. So you put in Google Maps, you put 124 Conch Street, Virgin Islands, and it comes dead center in Epstein's Island. And
oh my god!
I sat there and I watched this dude on the TikTok, and I was like, "Fucking even SpongeBob's not safe from fucking Nickelodeon's bullshit." I said, "Let me try this shit out." So I just put 124 Conch Street first, and it came. There's a Conch Street in Florida. So I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, that's it." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, but the SpongeBob show was supposed to be in the island somewhere." So I was like, "All right." So I went back and I said, "All right. So what happens if I put like 124 Conch Street in another place? It didn't come up because the street wasn't there." So I said, "All right." So I said, "All right, let me do this again. 124 Conch Street," and I put in Virgin Islands, and it came out dead center in Epstein's Island, St. James place, St. James, whatever. And I said, "Bro, how the fuck does that happen?" And then all of a sudden, that TikTok got 5.3 million views. And then the guy who made the TikTok, who brought that up, it was something about the Nickelodeon shit with that Dan Schneider guy and all this other shit. Saying like the Nickelodeon, the Splat, the Nickelodeon Splat, if you put it right next to Epstein's Island, if you turn it, it looks the same as the island. So, they were doing this other shit, and then they were like, find out or think to yourself why 124 Conch Street actually shows up in the Virgin Islands, like right on top of Epstein's Island. And when you do it, it comes right up on the island. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the one of the old time ones, like what they used to say about SpongeBob is that he was on another island, but it was a nuclear waste island or something like that created all those, the characters or all this other shit, made them. It was just some weird shit. But like, if you actually watch SpongeBob, it was always like, when they came out of the water, they were always by an island. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I watch Simpsons.
No, I watch Simpsons too. But
Simpsons, man, it's like they're so on point with shit. It's like.
It's weird how all that shit like plays and can be pieced together. Now you think about it, it's like, is it the fact that somebody on The Simpsons like knew something, or was like something was going on, or was it the fact that you can actually piece it together as a coincidence? Say if I have a movie like 15, like I have a TV show, Simpsons was like how many seasons, right? Like what was it, like 15 seasons or something like that?
It was almost 30 years.
Yeah, 30, yeah. So then you turn around in one of your episodes, like as a coincidence, you say there's going to be a World War III. And then all of a sudden World War III comes, you're like, oh my god, The Simpsons predicted that shit. Is that a coincidence? It's a coincidence.
Well, he predicted coronavirus.
I know, yeah. So somebody was either A, ahead of their time with shit, or it was just the fact that, somebody knew stuff. I don't know, man. So many of that stuff, like, it throws me off, and then you sit there and you have to think about it, and it's like none of that shit. It all pieces together eventually, and then you're like, what are we living in? What kind of world is this? Like, is this world already predetermined? You know what I'm saying? Like everything that we're doing, even sitting here tonight talking on the microphone, is this already predetermined somewhere in some timeline that we were going to do this or so? It's like it's weird.
Well, if that's the case, show me the winning lottery numbers.
Yeah, give me a chance at like something like like for that person that won in New Jersey, like holy shit, good for you. But you know what? Like how is that planned out? Like if that you actually have the winning numbers and you're the only person that won.
$1.1 billion.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they had other people that won like $1 million.
Yeah,
it was
but
like 1.1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, no, of course there's always...
Especially in Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune, bro. Roth, they said, what, Route 66 or Route something? I think it was like Route 66 or some shit.
No, Neptune, New Jersey is not Route 66. It'd be 34, 35.
No, they'd say it was that or 18 or some shit. It was a local street.
It was a local, yeah, it was a local, it was like a gas station or no, it was a liquor store.
Actually. Yeah, it was like a little store.
So now they won. You know what the liquor store gets at?
Bro, they're done. They could close up their business.
Exactly.
They could take that little thing and fucking close it up. Be like, thank you.
Yep.
I sold the ticket. Give me my funds. I'm going on vacation the rest of my life. See you later. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're getting a huge chunk out of that, bro.
It's like crazy, man.
I pray all the time, bro. Like
I don't play the lottery, so I can't.
Dude, I played it for so long, and like the most I ever won was like $500, and like then it's like the day that you don't play it is the day that the numbers come out, and then you're like, fuck. But it's like, do I play it for the rest of my life? Like I sometimes like when I go to work and I go to the store, like 7-Eleven or something like that, there'll be lines of people dropping hundreds on lottery tickets.
All it takes is $1.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, and like the lady sits there, like the other day, it was a Wednesday, I went into 7-Eleven to get just a Monster, and I'm behind this lady, and she's got a whole paper, and it's got all numbers, and she's giving the guy the numbers and stuff, and he's like, oh, this is going to take me forever. He's like, let me get these people out before this. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy shit, she's playing, she's got hundreds in her hands. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, this, I'm like, it's glad to see that people have that extra money, or if they don't, then they have a fucking problem with
These are people that don't have that money. Like they just think they could win.
Right. I'm like, yo, dropping 100.
Scratch offs too.
Scratch offs are very addictive, though.
Biggest scheme. Addictive. I'm sorry, it's the biggest scheme in the world.
It's like you figure like, all right.
If I buy 5 scratch offs a year, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm lucky like that. Like I've never won anything seriously like that I can actually go around and be like, you know what, I'm lucky. I can buy and do. I ain't lucky. I'm far from lucky. So it's like,
if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather go to the casino,
right,
and waste $500,
right,
and I'll be like, all right, I lost $500. I knew I was gonna lose it,
right.
But if I win, all right, that's up on the casino,
right. Well, so it's like it pissed me off. Like it was like 2 weeks ago. Some old guy, well, he's an old, but whatever, he came up to me while I was working, and he was like, listen, he goes, do you have, I'm embarrassed to ask, he's like, do you have any money on you? He was like, I'm starving. I want to go into the grocery store and just get something to eat. And
you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, hold on, I'm not hungry, I got food. Let me see how much I got. So I had $5. So I was like, here, take the $5. He was like, yo, thanks a lot, bro. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So then when he went into the store is a grocery liquor store, bodega. So when he came out with a bottle in a thing, and he was sitting there drinking this and that. So he walked past on the side. So I said, bro, that ain't gonna do you any fucking good, bro, if you're hungry. He was like, yo, mind your business. I was like, dude, I'm about to kill you.
I got it tonight. I was liquor store tonight. He was like, you got $1? I was like, you're hungry. He was like, I'm hungry. I was like, dude, I have no money.
If that was my fault.
He's like, brother, you got $1 so I can get food? I'm like, listen, I have no money.
Yeah, that was my fault though. I mean, I shouldn't even be able to say anything.
Listen,
that's a
I'll go
sickness,
with Quick Check.
Yeah.
If you want food that bit, I'll go to Quick Check and buy you food.
But what would happen if he fucking threw it out on you too?
But then that's it on him.
Yeah.
That's on him.
Yeah, but then you feel like a sucker too though, because it's like you just then at the same time I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, I could really use that $5 because I only had a bottle of water left. So I was like, I could have used that $5 and got myself another fucking bottle of water because I was dying of water.
But if you're that hungry, I'll I'll go somewhere and buy you food.
Right.
But don't tell me you're hungry in front of a liquor store.
Right.
Sorry, it's not happening.
All right, so you know what's another thing? Let's jump to this shit too. There's a lot of stuff going on about that, and you probably know some stuff about this shit too. But that whole crazy Delaware bridge collapse.
Baltimore?
Delaware, Baltimore, some shit.
What's that? Baltimore's forever.
Bro.
Baltimore
Right across from each other, bro.
Baltimore's not.
Oh, here we go.
It's Delaware's not. I'm telling you, Delaware's next to Jersey.
Didn't I say Baltimore, Delaware shit? Didn't I say that?
Yeah, you did.
So, okay, so I added the two fucking states in there.
Baltimore's near Washington, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Maryland. Delaware's before Maryland.
Passed that shit so many times, bro. 495, 295.
I know.
That fucking loop. Right? So much shit about that, man. And
Well, the tugboats can't get in trouble.
the tugboats can't get in trouble. They got called off. So, but
So now, who do you blame?
harbor masters.
Harbor masters.
Yeah.
The pilots.
Yeah.
So.
That was crazy. That was completely crazy.
And then the ones that called them off.
But you know what's weird though is it actually looked like the boat made a mad tight turn into the pylon. If you look at it from so many different views,
I seen
put it on that.
I seen that, but it's like you can't steer a boat that quick.
No, of course not. It's huge.
That container ship is.
Yeah.
I've seen all angles. I've seen people posting.
But it turned so quick into that pylon, you know.
It's because. Listen, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I
saw the path though, right?
Yeah.
It went up and around.
I've seen things.
Did a hook.
I've seen things that container ships should not do.
Right.
Like when we had the old blue crane at Global, I've seen a container ship do a turn and hit the crane. So I'm. What happens? I don't know.
Right.
I'm not a pilot. I can't explain it.
Right.
I'm a longshoreman.
But you know what's weird though is the fact that they didn't allow the crew off the boat either. So I mean I guess the fact is they're saying that you're under investigation, and maybe they didn't know what else hazmat wise on the front of that boat was going to go on fire.
The thing is, there's nothing but hazmats on the front of the ship.
Right, and that's
I've
where the
loaded
explosion came
ships.
from.
Yeah, I've loaded ships, and I'm like, why does all these hazmat have to go on the front?
Yeah.
And that's why. That's why the front of the ship is all hazmats.
Right, so it doesn't blow everything up
Yeah.
in the back.
There's no fires in the back.
Yeah.
The pilot's safe. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
As soon as that hits, what's going to happen with hazmats? One thing explodes, everything's going to explode in front of the ship.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'm not going to say everything on the bottom is going to explode, but on top it's definitely going to explode.
Yeah, everything's just going to pop off. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, it's just weird, cause when it
and it's
happened,
not even like, it's not like the first couple of hatches. It's like the first 10 hatches is almost all hazmats.
Right. Well, yeah, because you don't want to put the hazmats in the middle of the boat with the rest of the cargo, because then if it explodes, you're gonna light up.
People are like, oh, there was explosions on it.
It was fires. You saw a fire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, the bridge fell on top of the thing. Of course, there's going to be an explosion. Or
That bridge was built in 1900s.
Right. No. Yeah.
It's all steel.
Right.
It's gonna explode. It's gonna.
You know how much weight is coming down?
If it comes on a tank, that tank's gone.
Right.
A hazmat tank, bro, it's gonna explode.
Well, from the pictures, they did have those round containers up there.
Yeah. Hazmat tanks.
Yep. Take another yarn break. Just leave the light on in the bathroom. This shit's lasting for a while.
Like people say, oh yeah, there's pilots up there. Yes, there's harbor pilots, there's harbor masters, there's everything.
Should they let go to tugboats? No. The tugboat should not have been let go until that thing was in port.
Right. Well, actually, it was what? It was leaving port. It was going out to main water.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, no, they should. The minute they got out past the bridge part,
Yeah.
that's when the tugboats they could have been broken off because now they're going into the main body.
I know it was going into port.
No, it was leaving port.
Oh,
It actually left port, made a circle, kind of turned, came around, was leaving, was coming past those two like barges that are in the water that they have on both sides of the thing, and that's when the power and all that shit started going off. And then all of a sudden, but when that boat came around and it was coming in, those tugboats were still not with them. So they called those tugboats off way long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, before that. And you know, even though the tugboats, like, if that thing did go out of power and it started to push towards the thing, they could have.
The only port you see that in, if there's no bridge, like Miami.
Yeah.
They could pull the tugboats will pull them out.
Yeah.
And let them go because there's no bridge.
Right.
Like in areas like that, there's no bridges.
Yeah, because there's no obstacles for them to drive around. They all have to do is worry about.
Our
what are you
tugboats,
going to do? You're going to hit ground.
Our tugboats take them from Sandy Hook. It's at every port. Our tugboats don't leave them. On the dock.
And you know, it's funny too because like when we were talking about it, it came up. We were talking about it at work too, and everybody was like, "Oh, this and that." I was like, "Listen, I listen to the Coast Guard and I listen to the tug thing, the sea channels." I said, and I listen and I hear the shit all the time. I was like, it's. Do you hear the conversations from the harbor master, the Coast Guard? Everybody that's there, when the boats are coming in, you can hear them talking to them. Like, you're on course, blah, 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 blah. We're shutting down this area. You're coming in. No other boats are allowed in here right now. You got, they have names for the tugboats. They have different names for what it is. And like, blah, blah, blah is on route. Other one's on route. Take the starboard side. Take, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear
the conversation. Moran. The Moran?
Yeah.
So it'd be like Laura, Kathy. That's all the family's names.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The tugboats there?
Yeah.
It's the red tugboats from, I think they're from...
I see them in Staten Island. They got a big dock over there, too.
I think they're from New York.
Yeah, because...
But them guys, we got our radios. We got our own radios for them.
Yeah.
And they're like, where do you want the ship? We're like, right here. And then you hear the harbor master be like, no, we can't go there. No, that's where it gotta go.
Yeah.
We got two ships.
Yeah.
You can't pull up to where you want to pull up.
Yeah.
So then you hear the back forces going.
Yeah.
And then they start backing up real slow.
Yeah.
And we're like this.
Yeah.
The captain. He'd be like, they're like, what? Like people are like, what's that mean? They'd be like, it's good.
Yeah.
When they put a thumb up, it means it's good.
Right.
People don't realize like. There's a lot of things, like with the lines, even on a cruise ship. If that cruise ship pulls up wrong, that gangway's not reaching that ship.
Oh, of course not. Yeah. It's got to be close to the pier. Yeah. And all that other shit.
No, I'm talking about like when you go upstairs and you walk across, there's the gangway.
Yeah.
If that gangway's that much off, they can't put the gangway.
Right, because it's not. It won't stretch across.
Because it's not so tight.
Yeah, and you won't be able. You would have a leeway, and God forbid somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, no, I get it.
Biggest lawsuits in the world.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like and like I listen, like I said, like I listen on the ham radios and shit. I listen to the harbor masters. And I have the C and the other ones. I have the two sets of frequencies that I there's a lot of them. But what I'm saying is I have them on my portables, and you can actually like if you're close. Like even today I was listening. And they shut down the East River, the Coast Guard, by the airport, not the airport, the heliport. I guess the president or there was somebody over there. You know what I'm saying?
There's a heliport. That's towards
New York. It's on the Manhattan side. It was on Manhattan.
Actually, there's a heliport right here in Kearney.
Yeah, no, they said the heliport by the Manhattan Wall Street district or some shit like that. And they were talking on the thing, and they said, we're shutting the East River down. No traffic, this and that. And I guess that one I was listening to this morning was Harbor Master or something like that, because they were calling, they were like, harbor safety, calling in, this and that. Like, Coast Guard's in the water, you're not allowed to come into the East River. We'll tell you when you're able to come through, this and that. And then later on, when I was listening, they were like, the Coast Guard was on the same channel. They came in and said, this is a Coast Guard cutter or whatever. The East River is now open. Please continue, whatever they, you know.
How about this? If there's a cruise ship in before a container ship,
Yeah.
the cruise ship has to drop lines, pull out to the middle of the bay,
Yeah.
in the New York Harbor, and the container ship has to come in backwards, or wherever way they go.
Yeah.
They have to dock, and then they can come back in.
Oh yeah, so one comes out the other. Yeah, I guess that's for safety though.
That's because the cruise ships, the container ships have more priority than any other.
Yeah,
ship.
because how much money's coming in on those boats, bro.
The thing is, if there's a car ship there and a cruise ship there, container ship's not fitting.
Right. Well, those car ships are fucking wide. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's funny like how with everything that's going on lately and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden we have a freak accident, if you want to call it that, like with a boat crashing into another bridge. But you know, the thing is like even with that being over and said and done and stuff, you know, Biden comes on and says that not to worry, that the federal government is going to pay to rebuild the bridge. Now, I guess he's going to use the Army Corps of Engineers to do that, but it's, you know, at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, why are we paying for the bridge? Because whenever they say that they're going to do something, that means that we're paying for it.
It's going to take a decade.
Yeah, well, it's 5 or 6 years. Like they were predicting, like, you know, because they got to rebuild that whole, not just that section that fell. They got to rebuild that whole shit.
They got to rebuild the whole bridge.
Yeah, because it's old. Yeah. It's old. It's not safe. And they said that after the bridge was hit, they went under just to see how the pylons were, like the supports. Yeah. They're completely rotted away. Like they didn't, you know, when they went to look at them, a lot of the concrete from it was completely, big chunks were missing everywhere. And they were like, wow, how come this wasn't inspected? You know, meaning like it probably would have lasted another 50, 60 years without even worrying about it. But, you know, at the same time, they were like, you know, why wasn't this inspected? Like, what? Maybe we should be checking the foundations of the bridges too at the same time. You know, which makes it harder because, you know, you need divers and shit to do that crap. But, you know, like the Bayonne Bridge, like they rebuilt that bridge, and I know they were in the water. So I mean, they must have been checking.
But now, like, how do you get a diver to go down there? What's in that water right now?
Oh, they forget about it. Forget about it right now. They gotta really. They were saying that, you know, they're releasing the cargo and they're releasing the people that work on the boat and stuff, and now they're going to bring the barges in so that they can start pulling the old bridge parts out so that they can continue the waterway. But, you know, it's the same thing. It's like,
you can't bring a diver down there.
No, what do you think is
contaminated?
Yeah, because of
definitely
yeah. That whole water thing is all screwed up. Yeah. Now you're gonna have EPA stuff all tied up in there too.
You're gonna have to get them yellow. We get them all the time that work when they have a leak on the ship. We get the yellow things.
Oh yeah, that float that contain like the oil.
And that's actually funny because I was like, oh, they don't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, one night I was like, man, they actually do work. You see the oils get pulled out.
Yeah, we got those socks too, those long socks, like when something like...
That's what it is. That's the yellow,
And then what it does is it soaks it up in the sock, and then you just pull the whole thing. And then, you know, you're supposed to put it back in the container or whatever it comes in, and then somebody has to get rid of the hazmat. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But it's funny how all that shit was happening and stuff, and, you know, everybody's like talking about that, and they're talking about, you know, you can still get pieces and stuff of the eclipse coming and all the insanity that's going along with the eclipse when it comes to the conspiracies and shit like that. That, you know, it's prophecies are being you know, done and everything else, and it's crazy in this fucking world. And, you know, I personally think, like, you know, our next podcast would be like next Friday, and the eclipse is going to be Monday. So next Friday we're going to have an eclipse podcast. Yeah. And I'm going to put down all the stuff that they said is going to happen because of the eclipse, and then we're going to like do that.
We're going to have computer service because the eclipse.
Yeah, the eclipse is going to be Monday. So whatever happens is going to happen Monday. They were telling everybody like, oh, if you work on Monday, your best bet is to take off Monday because it's going to be crazy. And I'm like, it's probably going to be crazy for the people that live in the area of the eclipse. Like, we're not in the area of the eclipse. Like, that band that goes up from Texas goes up, whatever.
We're never in it.
We're not in it.
We're never in it.
So the whole problem is everybody's going to be leaving our areas and areas around just to go to anywhere that has part of the eclipse.
Good, let them go.
Well, yeah, so I'm saying, like, I mean...
Get get these roads safer.
Obviously, this is going to be like something that we haven't seen ever. Like we've always seen like a moon eclipse, this and that. This is actually like a sun eclipse kind of deal. So it's weird when you think about it because it's like how you can go into it and stuff to be like, well,
Dave's going to see it.
Who?
Dave.
No, not even close.
No?
They're not even close to it.
Yeah, but he's got that.
Oh, he's got the that fucking lab thing of telescope. Yeah, he can. I mean, he's everybody's gonna see it get dark. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna go dark, but there's gonna be that band is gonna be pitch black. So you're gonna go from we're gonna get like probably overcasts. So it's gonna get like, say if it's sunny out, right? Within that time of the eclipse, we're gonna get like overcast. So that's what they're like. If you look at the way that it projects, the way that it goes, but whoever is in that belt that's in the black that goes up the United States, they're gonna go nighttime. So it's gonna go from 12 o'clock noon to 12 o'clock midnight. So it's gonna be like 1 minute.
Like, damn, did I drink all day?
That's that's pretty cool. Like when you think about it, because it's like 1 minute you got sunlight
and next minute.
Yeah, I mean you technically you can't stare at the eclipse happening because it'll burn your eyes. But at the same time, like if you're outside, like in 1 minute or 2 minute time, it's going dark, and then within 10 or 15 minutes, it's gonna be daytime again. Like so.
Like, damn, I did drink all night.
Yeah, so I don't know particulars. Like I didn't, I'm gonna research it all this week so that we can have a podcast for Eclipse. But I don't know if it's an hour. Or I don't know what it is, but it's probably gonna be like at least an hour. By the way that the way that the Earth is
My friend's wife is a doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, if it happens tonight, you gotta keep to Roger's house. I was like, Dave, I got a basement.
Yeah.
I'll cuddle with you.
I don't think, seriously, I mean, there could be crazy people out there that maybe will take this a little too far.
Well, there is people out there.
Yeah, so, I mean, we might have some situations on that day. I'm not going to take off. You know what I'm saying? But I just hate being in New York City. It's like, if something happens, like, and you're in, even Staten Island, though, too, it's New York City. And it's like, if I'm at work in one side of the island and this shit happens, and then I got to get back to the other side of the island to get to my car, to get back to the Bayonne,
Staten Island? Like, people don't know. You know the story about Staten Island?
What is it, dump?
No, it was supposed to be Jersey.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
And they were like, no, we don't want it.
Bro, it looks like Jersey.
And New York was like, we don't want it either.
Right.
They're like, well, so Jersey was like, no, we don't want it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, then who's going to take it?
Right.
We're like, we're not taking it. It's an island.
Right.
It's a garbage dump. Back in the day, it was a garbage dump.
Yeah, but that shit all on the opposite side of the...
No, everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Richard Avenue by the mall. That whole shit was garbage dump, man. And that went for miles, bro.
New York was like, well, if you're not going to take it, we have to take it.
Yeah. Well, that became 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like...
But, yeah, I mean, because... you drive in Staten Island, and it's a New Jersey town. Yeah. That's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's
That's why I don't understand. Like, why would we have to pay to go to Staten Island?
Right. If you took the New York City cops out of there and put, like, say New Jersey cops, say like you had like Bayonne cops there, right?
Yeah.
And you put Bayonne cops in Staten Island, you would think it's Jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no difference. There's you just have like New York attitude, and you got New York taxes, and you got everything that comes along with New York City. But it's still at the end of the day it resembles.
I always say to my friends, I'm like, you know what? You could have been Jersey people.
Right.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, we didn't want Staten Island.
Right. Because I mean, if you go to Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan,
that's
New York City. Yeah. All that area all looks the same. It's all congested as fuck, and it's all that's New York City. You know what I'm saying? You come to Staten Island, you're like...
I mean, there's bad parts of Staten Island, but there's beautiful parts of Staten Island.
Yeah, there's beautiful parts. There's expensive homes. Like, it was funny, too. I was just working on... I had to get access to this house because I disconnected the feed here going to it. And this house is on a secluded block. And, like, you go to the end of the block, and that's the house. The house is the block. and it's all in the woods and shit. I'm like, I'm looking at the house and I'm looking, you know, and I'm like, bro, this house probably costs at least $10 million. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, where the fuck in Staten Island is this house? And then I went up this one street, it's called Lighthouse Road, right? And I just like kind of discovered the road, I guess, because I was working on that part of Staten Island today. And I'm like, why is this thing called Lighthouse Road? I looked up, it was a fucking lighthouse. A real lighthouse.
He's near Great Kills.
Yeah, bro, there's a real fucking lighthouse.
Great Kills, yeah.
Yeah, ID, that's Great Kills. And I was like, holy shit. And I drove up the fucking hill, Lighthouse Road, which goes all the way up in the mountain. You make a turn, you go up on this little street, you go to the thing, and sure enough, on this guy's property...
That's where the military ships used to come in by.
It's a fucking lighthouse.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I looked up, and I was like, holy shit, yo, what the... First of all, the history of this lighthouse... So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll go like after work and I'll like look it up like to see what's the history of this lighthouse. And it looks like an abandoned lighthouse that you've probably got like, you know, if you're like one of those ghost hunters or, you know, paranormal people, you probably love to get your ass in there, bro. You know? With the history on it, it's probably crazy.
Well, you know, Staten Island used to be like a big, they have the biggest military.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got the fort. They got the fort down there. And
between Bayonne and Staten Island, it was the biggest.
Bro, that fort is huge. We have cable on that fort, and we go there all the time. Like when they have like events and shit like this, they want like extra Wi-Fi stuff. We have to go there and run it extra like on the buildings and shit because it's I think it's like Fort Bragg or some shit like that or something like that. I forgot what it was, but we go down there a lot. And like right now. Like if you go there, it's mainly occupied by the Coast Guard. So like when we went in there and we had to get access to the buildings and shit, I was, you know, thinking it was probably be like military, whatever. And it was, you know, of course it's military. It's Coast Guards or you know the whatever. And you know we walked in and they were like all Coast Guard barracks, and I was like holy shit. And there's like, you know, one building has barracks from one side to the other side, mess hall, cafeteria. Fucking living rooms, like, you know, party, like, you know, I'm like, holy shit, man. And they're like, yeah, we want to get the work done now before this becomes full. We're going to fill this up because, you know, we got people coming in, this and that. I'm like, okay, all right, we'll make sure it works. And we were going around it, and we're like, oh, you need access to that part of the building. We're like, oh, we got to get in there, like, you know, this and that. And they're like, yeah, I know, it's military. Just wait. We have a guy come in who's a military police, and they're going to open the doors for you. I'm like, holy shit. And then it actually came in, a guy was actually like an army guy. And he was like, yeah, he's like, what do you need access to? With this and that. Like, why do you need it to? I was like, well, the amp is right there by your stove. And they were like, oh shit, that's what that is? Like, yeah. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll let you in there. Let's go. This and that. But that was a while ago. But that's like, that whole area though is huge. Like, it's really huge. It's off of Bay Street, and it goes all the way down to the end, and then that becomes their own street. Yeah. And they have that whole under the Verrazano, from that one point all the way under the Verrazano and around the back sound of it. That's all the military. Military, Coast Guard, everything's down there. So, but that's cool. No, that's cool too. And yeah, they had the biggest bases. They had that, and then they had global. They had the army was down here at the military base, the MOTI.
And then you had the one in Jersey City.
Yeah, you had the one in Jersey City too, which was the boat launch thing. Yeah. Shit. But well, they're still there. They're by the Cave and Point.
Yeah, but it's not as big as.
No, it's like a training ground now. That's all it is. Like, because you see, like, but you know what's funny though? Every so once in a while, like when you know shit's
they get filled.
When shit's about to go bad, like you'll drive past. Like that time we went for the football game. Remember, it was all filled up with those
visa and stuff.
Yeah, dude, they had mad fucking army trucks in those fighting vehicle things. You know, so it's like if they're in the middle of like transport, they'll probably stop off, you know, drop off there.
I've seen how many times when I'm driving one back to school.
Yeah.
And the military vehicles are going down the road. I'm like, and then on the line, there's like 3 or 4, and there's 3 or 4 back. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, we got the helmets on. I'm like,
yeah, we have a lot of bases though that they utilize. You know what I'm saying? That they're all driving probably from. You know.
Keyport.
Yeah, Keyport, right? There's that thing right there in Keyport, right?
Sandy Hook area.
Sandy Hook has it, yeah. And down in Cape May. Cape May has that military thing down there. I don't think it's military anymore, but it's that waterfront thing all the way down. Where was that? It's around that area by the Atlantic City, Cape May part. There's like a thing down there for them too. They got a lot of shit in Jersey, bro. There's a lot of Army stuff around here. You know. There was one. Keysburg used to have something too. That was a long time ago. I don't know. A lot of that shit.
I know Cape May has a ship that's half sunken and it's still like half sunken and it's over the water.
Yeah, is that the place too that they have those bunkers on the water too? Remember? I think we went down there. We went down there for the lighthouse that one time, Kate.
Yeah, but we didn't go down all the way.
Yeah, no. When we went on the beach, they had those. Was it World War II bunkers that they had, and they were on the sand.
Yeah.
But then they had those other ones, the pillars in the water.
Yeah.
So, but the history things were down there.
We should do that again.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. And the lighthouse shit, though, man, I'm definitely not in shape to run up all those stairs in the lighthouse. I'll get up to the top and I'll have a panic attack. I'll be like, ah!
No, we should actually do the camping thing, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's good. But the women are so fucking busy now with stuff. It's like you don't have the time to set up unless there's a cheer event somewhere close there. We could never pull off anything anymore. Like they're so busy with shit now.
It's funny because I said, "Wow, Keith only has 2 more years in high school."
Yeah.
And now I'm free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go on vacation.
Yeah.
I don't have to take the kids. They're old enough.
Right.
They can stay home.
Or even that. I mean, even Autumn's in the college, and then Maya's gonna be out of this, and she's gonna be coaching, and then she could do a bunch of other shit too. So you'd be free from that cheer shit too. But it's.
Oh, Maya's gonna be a coach for life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that doesn't really require. What I'm saying? You kind of get pushed out by that time. What I'm saying? Because it's like
Maya's ready to talk about opening her own cheer gym.
That's good. That's good. Listen, man. You know what? Nobody. You can't mock it. No,
I'm not. If they want to open one, no problem.
If you have the drive to do something like that, then do it.
I think she already has the skill to do choreography because she works with Christine.
Christine, yeah. Yeah. I mean, so you do. Listen, you do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? This is America, and this is.
And she has the skills to make music because she did Intensity's music.
Who's?
The little teams.
Oh, Icon.
Yeah, Icon's music.
Yeah,
she did. Not this year. Last year.
Oh, that was Intensity.
Intensity.
Yeah.
She made that music.
Okay.
She did that music by herself. She was like, I would never do that again.
No, I mean that choreography shit is hard, especially because they go through it a lot between her and Priscilla. When they used to do it here, and then the guy would send the music, and then they would have to go with the beats, meaning with the 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. You know what I mean? And then she would have to go and be like, well, she'd be like, this is all fucked up.
Most of the time.